Hello everyone and welcome to BeBetterGamer Wrestling. I am BeBetterGamer and this is another CAW video, and today I'm going to be making a tag team. I'm going to be making, you guessed it, the Headbangers. Is that what you guessed? I hope that's what you guessed because I'm making them. Very simple to make the Headbangers. Why am I making the Headbangers? Well, because they were included in WrestleMania 2000. They were part of the roster and their profile pic is in WWF No Mercy, but they were left out. I don't know why they were left out. Maybe someone didn't like them. Where are they? Here they go. Here's Mosh. There he is, aka Chaz. He was Chaz in WrestleMania 2000 because at the time him and Thrasher weren't teaming up. And speaking of Thrasher, there he is. Look how good they look. I mean, are those the Headbangers or are those the Headbangers? So yeah, their profile's already in there. You can buy their shirt from the SmackDown Mall, and I think their skirt is default, or maybe you have to buy their skirt too. I don't remember, but let's jump right in. So again, like all my other CAW videos, I'm gonna do a quick skim through of the profile and the appearance, the moves, the fighting style, the parameter, and the ally enemy, although I don't think there is any for Mosh and Thrasher. You can find that in the description below. I have a link to a Google Doc where I have all of that typed out neatly for you, so I hope you enjoy it. Basically, for the moves and everything, I took everything from WrestleMania 2000. This is a straight WrestleMania 2000 with a few improvements, a few different, things. But right away, so Mosh, I start with Mosh, M-O-S-H, short name Mosh. Give him Headbanger because the funny thing is in WWF No Mercy, the tag teams don't come out together. So whatever, I don't know why they did that. It probably had to do something with space and how they were designing the game. But if you put Headbanger, when they come out, it'll say Headbanger Mosh and Headbanger Thrasher. So he's 6 foot, 242, just like in WrestleMania 2000. Again, generic original music. They have his profile pic. You just go to picture and it's Mosh. Boom. Appearance. So appearance, we're gonna go with body medium 2. The first skin tone, the default skin tone. Head male 3. He's got a little bit of a shorter head than Thrasher. Face male 63. And the funny thing with the face, well, that's Thrasher. That's Midian. It has the tattoo of his well, not the tattoo, but it has the face paint right there built into the face, so it's not even an accessory. How cool is that? Hair, he's bald, so you don't have to do anything with the hair. Facial hair, I gave him facial hair 20. I felt like that was the closest I could find, sort of similar to what he had in WrestleMania 2000. Now mask and etc., I gave him the little Matt Hardy chain because they wore stuff like that a lot. They wore like the little bead necklace around, they wore a bunch of crazy stuff. Actually, the Headbangers, those crazy guys, they did. Hats, cats, nothing. Ring attire, skirt. So skirt you do have to buy. There it is, highlighted in yellow. And I kept the default. Now again, for this one, just like my Dude Love and my Gangrel CAWs, I didn't really do alternate outfits. But if you want, you can give them like a dark red or a dark green for like their alternate outfits. They always wore multicolored skirts. Sometimes they wore the plaid skirts, which aren't in this game, but they were in WrestleMania 2000. They wore a lot of funky stuff. They were the Headbangers. They were out there. Upper body, boom, Headbangers. Oh, guess who we forgot to put in the game? I think they were just being lazy. Or actually, I do have a theory why they weren't included, but more on that later. Tattoo, Chaz. So you can give him the Chaz tattoo. That you also have to buy. Man, they want you to spend a lot of money to make the Headbangers. Gloves, nothing. Wristband, I gave them wristband 1. They always wore wristbands. I don't know why they don't have wristbands in WrestleMania 2000. I always thought that was kind of interesting. Knee pad, supporter 1. I gave him the default, not the default, I gave him the black color for knee pad for the supporter 1 on both. And feet, default boots 1. Nothing crazy there. Nothing entrance attire, nothing weapons, props. Real quick, let's jump over to Thrasher. Now, I put him basically as the same character slot. I didn't change, if you go to WrestleMania 2000, Chaz is his own character. You kind of have to turn him into Mosh. But I kept them both here. I didn't make separate character picks because if you look at their moves, their fighting style, the parameter, and the ally enemy, it's entirely the same. Their moveset in WrestleMania 2000 is exactly the same. I guess they created a separate character slot because they wanted to have Chaz have his own slot. Whatever, they're the same person to me. The Chaz gimmick didn't last too long, but Thrasher, same thing. Thrasher, Headbanger, he's 6'2", 244. In appearance, he's basically the same. Body type is the same, medium 2, plain skin tone. His head, you give him the big head, male 6. He's got a longer head. Face, he's face 64, built into the game. And then look, this is really interesting. He's one of the few faces that his facial hair is already built into his face, so you don't have to give him facial hair. Look, all the work is done. He's got his face paint and his facial hair. You don't have to add any of that stuff. And then the outfit's pretty much the same as Chaz. There's really nothing else except for tattoo. His tattoo is Thrasher, which you also have to buy from the SmackDown Mall. So they are an expensive tag team, although they didn't really do too much in WWF. And yeah, let me just show you. I didn't do anything else. I just kept them default. If you want to make some crazy creative Mosh and Thrasher alternate outfits, go ahead and send me, tweet me, put it, show me what you did. It's be cool to see what you did. All right, so let's do a tag team match just so we could see them in motion. Let's make it a no count out. Let's do a hardcore. Hardcore, yeah, let's do a hardcore match. They did hardcore matches, right? I don't remember much of the. Don't want to put DQ. It's no tag because it's hardcore. Rope break, no, because it's hardcore. Bam. Oh, might as well face, but not for the titles, because come on, they wouldn't beat the New Age Outlaws for the titles. So let's do Mosh and Thrasher. I'll be playing as Mosh. Now let's play against the New Age Outlaws in a hardcore tag team match with the Headbangers. If I can find, there's Billy Gunn, and there's the Road Dogg, Jesse James, the badass Billy Gunn, and the New Age Out. I mean, look at that. They look great. I think they look great. They look just like they do in WrestleMania 2000. And if you're a big Headbanger fan, boom, I made it easy for you. Just go down the description, get the moves. Exactly the same. You don't have to make two separate. See, look, Headbanger, Mosh. They don't come out together. I don't know why. They just didn't make them come out together in this game. I'm assuming it had to do with the space. So why weren't they included? Why were they not included? Their profile pic, just like Gangrel and Dude Love and the Mean Street Posse, Midian. They all have their profile pic, but they're not included in the game. Well, they were around for the end of 1999, early 2000, all the way actually until mid 2000. But I was looking up, and Thrasher was released from the WWF, or WWE now it's called, in July of 2000, and they had joined WWF around November of '96, so they were with them for a while, for 4 years, before they got rid of Thrasher. Who knows why? He was dealing with quite a bit of injuries, and WWE is known to release people due to injuries, or at least back then they did that a lot. And then Chaz, aka Mosh, he stuck around. He started doing a tag team with D'Lo Brown. So I don't know why they just didn't keep him in as Chaz, because then I could have lived out all my lowdown fantasies, if you know what I mean. But yeah, Chaz and D'Lo Brown, they were low down. It wasn't the first time Chaz had, done the Chaz gimmick. He was Mosh, and then he went to Chaz, then he went back to Mosh, and then he went back to Chaz and started teaming with D'Lo Brown. So, and he performed in the No Mercy pay-per-view, the 2000 No Mercy pay-per-view. Lowdown did compete against the Dudley Boys. Well, they didn't compete against the Dudley Boys. Let me correct myself. They were involved in the Dudley Boys Invitational Tables match. So, you know, they could have included Chaz. Maybe they just didn't want to. Who knows? Maybe they were like, if we do Chaz. Maybe they were already working on the Headbangers. Didn't anticipate, you know, one of them getting released. And they decided, like, well, you know, if we can't include one, why bother including the other? Because again, they were the Headbangers. It wasn't like he was Chaz at the time, so they decided to scrap them. That's my theory. That's my theory as to why they weren't involved, because they were both in WrestleMania 2000. They were part of the, you know, crazy hardcore battle royal, which is why I'm doing a hardcore match right now. And Thrasher actually won the title briefly, along with pretty much everyone else in that match. You know, he pinned Joey Abs, I believe, and then Pete Gas pinned him afterwards. So, hardcore champion that year, Thrasher. And the Headbangers, you know, they were always like kind of like a jobber tag team, let's be honest. Didn't really amount to much. I think people liked them a lot because of their gimmick. You know, they were crazy, they were out there, they wore outlandish outfits every now and then. You know, I remember they came in a few times with like, you know, like the Madonna cones on their breasts, and you know, the fact that they wore skirts, and their whole t-shirt was, and I think you could read it, you could barely read it on these N64 graphics, but real men wear skirts is on the back of their t-shirt here. And you know, they were out there, people dug it. You know, Attitude Era, man. You had a pimp, you know, you had vampires, you had it all. So, ooh, Billy Gunn trying to get hardcore. Bam, caught that, protecting my partner. I hope you like this little banter I do at the end, where I show off the match, or the call, I should say, in the match. This is sort of similar to how I do my Let's Play videos. So if you see my Let's Play videos, give it a little press so you see if you like what I do here when I talk about like the historical context of these wrestlers and what was going on around this time. But yeah, going back to the Headbangers, so they were actually WWF Tag Team Champions, World Tag Team Champions, that tag team title that isn't the one that's in the current WWE TV. That's actually the regular WWE tag team titles. It's very confusing. After Dude Love, ironically enough, who I just did a call video of, after Dude Love and Austin had to vacate their titles due to Austin's neck injury, the Headbangers were involved in a fatal four-way with the Godwins, LOD, and British Bulldog and Owen Hart at the In Your House pay-per-view. What was it called? In Your House Ground Zero. Not the Metal Gear Ground Zeroes, but the In Your House Ground Zeroes on September 7th, 1997. So pretty much after a year they were in the company, they had the titles. It didn't last long. They had the titles for like almost like 20-something days. And they lost it to the Godwins, who only held the title for 2 days before getting beat by LOD. Let me try to save my partner, and I did so miserably. Oh, he's doing fine. He's okay. You know what, Road Dogg? Let's make this hardcore. Let's go outside. Let's actually give these people a hardcore match. I don't know. I think the Headbangers, I always saw the Headbangers as like the answer to Public Enemy. You know, but just they weren't as maybe reputable as Public Enemy, as reputable as you can get as being Public Enemy. I mean, but you know, in Public Enemy, at least, you know, being an ECW, they were allowed to do a lot of crazy stuff, which is why fans, I think, really loved Public Enemy. And even to a lesser extent, you know, when they were in WCW, they always had those matches with the Nasty Boys, but all those matches were pretty much hardcore matches, but, you know, they never got as wild and crazy as they did in ECW. But I feel like the Headbangers were kind of like the WWE's response to that. Because the WWE, let's face it, you know, the Attitude Era took a lot of stuff that ECW was doing and just, you know, rebranded it, gave it their own spin on it, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can definitely tell that the Headbangers were kind of that answer. The thing I think I like the most about the Headbangers though is that they were pretty fast. They were like this, secretly they were like kind of this like light heavyweight tag team. I mean they were both over, you know, 6 foot. But even if you look at their stats in WrestleMania 2000, they got the strongest points in their flying, and you know they can jump really far, and they both have a 5, I think, in like their offensive. And there you go, Thrasher doing a hurricanrana. You know, they jumped around a lot. Their finishing maneuver was really cool. It was called the stage dive, obviously, because you know they're the Headbangers. Got to keep that theme going. But it was the stage dive, and Mosh would be power bombing you, and as he was power bombing you, Thrasher would come off the top rope and do a guillotine leg drop as you were coming down. Pretty cool finisher, tag team finisher, if you will. Unfortunately, you can't really recreate that in this game. Instead, you just win with a schoolboy roll-up, or your partner wins with a schoolboy roll-up. So there it is, totally unexpected. I didn't think Thrasher was gonna win it, but I guess he was doing way more work than I was, and pretty tame hardcore match. But you know, what do you expect? They're the Headbangers. Come on. So I hope you like this. I hope now you can recreate all your favorite Headbanger moments in WWF. You can use those profile pics. They're not just sitting there. Spend that hard-earned SmackDown Mall money. Buy the Headbanger outfits. I got the moves all done, all typed out for you. All you gotta do is just put them in. Doesn't take long. Hope you enjoy this. I got more calls on the way, more tag teams, more people who were left out of this game, more people who weren't even in this game, a few other surprises. So click a like. Leave me a request in the comments section. Hit the subscribe so you know when my next video is coming. And I guess until next time, thank you for watching.